Hello, our esteemed viewers, and welcome to our top-notch education consultancy programs. As you are aware, we have been dealing with the set books, and that is the Samaritan, Fathers of Nations, and the Silent Song and Other Stories, and that is a short story. So far, so good. We want to thank you sincerely for your continued support and for your continued listening to us, because we believe that this is the channel that gives you the best when it comes to the discussions on the set books. Today I would want to invite you once more as we continue with our analysis of the set books. So far we have dealt with 3 stories in A Silent Song and Other Stories, and you know them. Number 1, we have talked about a Silent Song story itself. We have talked about Ninema. We have also given some analysis of the ivory bangles. Today, we want to do a presentation or an analysis of Abioseh Nicol's story. Abioseh comes from Sierra Leone. So today, our presentation is on a story that is a truly married woman. This is also a story of love. I would want to call it so because I've read through it, and that is what comes out. But again, there is a phenomenon that is coming out very strongly in the 21st century. That is this come we stay phenomenon. And it's also the same phenomenon that we call coming together, mistress and a man staying together. And we want to look at it because that basically is what the story is about. Is it a good phenomenon, or is it something that is negative? So we want to delve into the idea of mistresses that stay with men and men that are staying with mistresses in an arrangement of come we stay. Welcome, and let's continue to discuss. Now, Ajay and Ayo have been staying together for the last 12 years. In fact, the author of this story tells us that they've been living comfortably. He adds, even comfortably so. So that means that it has worked for them for the last 12 years. They have stayed together for 12 years. And in that kind of arrangement, they have actually had 3 children. 3 children, 12 years. And as we talk, Ayo is heavily pregnant with the 4th child. So these are some of the questions that we're asking in this kind of come we stay kind of arrangement. 12 good years, 3 children, and as we talk, Ayo is pregnant with the 4th child. Now Ajay and Ayo go to church also, almost every Sunday. But again, sometimes the preacher gets a little hard on them and condemns those who stay together and pretend to be married, and yet they haven't had a wedding, or what we call a church marriage. And when that happens, sometimes they get so discouraged and they take some weeks before getting back to the church. But Ayo, because he loves going to church, and Ajay also loves going to church, they get back to the church and continue serving the Almighty. So you can see the preacher or the priest condemning this idea of come we stay, or a man staying with a mistress. But we are also told that it has worked for them. And whether to condemn them or not, that is your opinion as a member of the public. Now, Ayo cooks nice meals for Ajay. She's a good woman. By any standards, she cooks very good meals. He actually had chosen Ajay, who is just a government clerk, over a teacher that the father had wanted her to marry. So Ayo had chosen Ajay over the teacher the father had wanted her to marry. And that tells you the level of love that was between them. It was so strong that probably, during that time, teachers were considered better husbands or so, or something like that, and the father would have preferred that Ayo gets married to a teacher. But actually, Ayo got married to Ajay, and that shows the level of love between the two of them. So we are also told that Ayo rarely disagrees with her husband, except when he feels so strongly about an issue. And one of the issues that is being presented by the writer here is the issue over their son Uju, who wets the mat every morning. When he wakes up, he's wetted the mat, and the father actually whips him for this reason. And Ayo feels this is not the proper treatment that should be given to a child who is wetting the bed or wetting the mat. And so he actually tells Ajayi to stop that kind of whipping of the son, because it doesn't make him stop. He's actually whipped him over for quite a while, but that has never made him stop. And therefore, even he quotes one of their community nurses, that is Bibola, who actually has been in England and America, and has told them in some women meeting that whipping a child over wetting a bed does not stop the child from actually wetting the bed. So he feels so strongly that what Ajay is doing is all right, and that shows that she's a very rational wife, not wife but actually mistress, and very responsible. You know, sometimes we even feel confused and call her a wife because they have stayed for 12 years, if anything, and they have had 3 children, and also she's also pregnant. But again, that is not considered marriage. And those are some of the things that we are trying to interrogate when it comes to this story. Now, Ayo also knows how to take care of Ajay's guests. Look at that. This is someone you stay with, is a mistress, and takes good care of your guests. So there is this particular moment that some white people have come over. They are kind of a missionary. There is something that Ajay had written that he would want to join their mission. And therefore, when they were coming to Sierra Leone, they felt that they would actually love to see Ajay. And they have gone to where Ajay works, and Ajay has been summoned by the chief clerk of maybe the company or the branch of government that he works for. So Ajay is invited and actually talks to these white people, and these white people are led by someone called Olsen. And therefore, after this, Ajay calls the wife when he has actually invited these white missionaries to get to his house, and tells the wife to prepare the house, clean up the house, prepare the children, groom them, so that when the guests arrive, actually there is a good image, or public relations, kind of a good image for his family. And this is exactly what Ayo does. Ayo cleans the house and removes any other thing that would be conceived to be negative, like those scantily dressed women. The pictures that are on the wall, actually takes them and keeps them under the sofa, and puts only the kind of pictures that would create that situation that they're truly married, and even borrows a ring from one of the neighbors, that is Omo. She even borrows a ring and wears a ring. So when these guests arrive, actually they're treated well. She's prepared some fruit juice for them, and they feel this is the kind of family that should always be. And they even take pictures for their magazine, and you know, that kind of thing. And it is after this visit that Ajay feels that actually the two of them should get married. The way also that Ayo criticizes beating of the son over wetting the mat also had something in his mind, thinking that this woman is extremely rational when it comes to issues, because actually he had beaten the boy and there was no change. And therefore all these things together with the visit now confirms to him that it's high time they got married. And therefore he decides now to organize for a church wedding. But before the church wedding, of course, you have to pay the dowry, which he did. They had actually to visit the family of Ayo, and there was also rituals of trying to hide quite a number of girls from that community. And actually they finally present Ayo, and they accept this is the kind of woman that Ajay had chosen. So you can see he's even organized for those arrangements of dowry, and now they settle down for the wedding, the church wedding, and they agree that it would serve them better, and therefore they organize for this wedding. And a wedding is called, and when the wedding is called, they have their wedding. After the wedding, they agree that they are not going to have an honeymoon, because any bed is a good bed for any marital, for any couple, and therefore they did not go for the honeymoon, but decided that they would have a church wedding. They even agreed that there is no need of having a white gown, because Ayo already has 3 children, and Ayo decided that he would wear something gray, something in between white and black, because she's not that holy. So that is the kind of the rational thinking that Ayo has at some point. So finally they get married, and when this happens, something happens. When they have now settled down, Ajay wakes up as usual, and he wants to go to work, and realizes that tea has not been prepared, and Ayo is still sleeping. So you can see things have drastically changed all of a sudden when they have had the church wedding. And therefore, when he asks Ayo, what is happening? Maybe she's sick or something. Then let me read for you the response by Ayo. Ajay, my husband, for 12 years I have got up every morning at 5 to make tea for you and breakfast. Now I am truly married woman. You must behave towards me with a little more respect. You are now a husband and not a lover. Get up and make yourself a cup of tea. And that is the end of her story. That is a truly married woman. So we are actually trying to castigate which one is better, staying with a mistress who serves you. We have seen all the things that Ayo does to Ajay as a mistress, but all of a sudden when she's married, a truly married woman that has gone through the ritual of dowry payment and is actually married in a church wedding, then things actually turn. The irony of the whole story. The question here is, who is a truly married woman? Now, as we go home, I would like you to think over these 2 questions that I'm posing. Number 1, true love is not demonstrated by the details of a wedding and marriage. True love is not demonstrated by the details of a wedding and marriage. And the second question, a church wedding may not be a demonstration of true love and happy marriage. A church wedding may not be a demonstration of true love and happy marriage. Discuss those 2 questions. I am your presenter, Oyuga Zedomolo. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly do so and be part of a great discussion. Thank you, and may God bless you abundantly.